24 candidates of the MVA who lost the recent Maharashtra Assembly elections have filed for VVPAT, but honestly speaking, if they think they are going to find a mismatch in VVPAT count, it is highly likely they are going to be disappointed. Here's why. Fundamentally, there are two ways in which EVMs can be manipulated. One is through a hack which cannot be detected, and the other is through a hack that can be detected. According to a detailed note published on Evernote, in both these methods, the hack involves malware that is infiltrated into VVPAT via the symbol loading unit or SLU at the time of commissioning. These malwares are typically of the type that self-destructs in response to a specific trigger after the task is accomplished. Further, there are three ways both the hacks accomplish their task. 1. By printing correct vote slips but casting vote in CU for hacker's favorite candidate. 2. By ballot stuffing or by booth capturing. 3. Through delayed vote slip printing and stealing of consecutive votes as per set parameters. For those interested in the technicalities of the hack, in the description we have provided a link to the note which explains it all in detail. In the first hack, the hacker has to be a part of a well-resourced organization, and though not absolutely necessary, the hacker should ideally have access to the source code as well as EVMs of both ECIL and BAIL which produce the EVMs. But his method is foolish, as the hack can be detected by counting votes in the VVPAT and comparing it to the control unit. This is not a method that those manipulating elections would opt for, as they wouldn't want to certainly land in jail. On the other hand, the second technique of hacking is very risky, as it requires several people to be involved, including presiding officer, polling officer and booth agent, as exposed in social media in Gujarat during the Lok Sabha election 2024. Because of the risk of getting caught, this cannot be the preferred method. This brings us to the third method, which would be the preferred method, as it leaves behind no trace of vote manipulation. It cannot be detected even by counting VVPAT vote slips and comparing them with control unit count, as they will be consistent. In this method, the malware can make the VVPAT behave according to preset parameters. This method can be employed at a national level, as in 543 Lok Sabha constituencies, at the state level in all assembly seats, and at the constituency level. The technique employed in this method steals consecutive same candidates' votes by delayed printing when the light inside the VVPAT is switched off. VVPAT will show the previous voter's slip to the same candidate's voter until a vote is cast for a different candidate, subject to the maximum numbers of an applied parameter. Thereafter, when a voter presses the blue button on ballot unit for a different candidate, the VVPAT will, while the light is switched off, dispense the first voter's slip and print, cut and dispense all the delayed slips in favor of hacker's party and not the first candidate's party. The hacked VVPAT will write votes into the control unit consistent with the printed slips, hence, even a 100% VVPAT slip count will not help in detecting this hack. The third method is also safer because it requires only one person controlling the server to do the mischief through the symbol loading unit or SLU. Any vested interest would logically choose the third method for voter fraud through EVMs. The only way all three hacks can 100% be identified is by doing an audit of the symbol loading unit before they are sanitized automatically or manually, says the scholar's note. Audit should include both memory examination and chronology of time stamps in the vote records in the control unit. In addition, the audit should happen before the poll closing, because as self-destruct malware can erase itself upon a trigger like pressing the poll close button on the control unit. The SLU should be audited before it is inserted into VVPAT for commissioning. Otherwise, after infecting the VVPAT machine, the SLU can be clandestinely sanitized by the field staff or election officer who has been compromised. SLU can also be sanitized by the malware planted in the VVPAT upon reaching a certain number of downloads from SLU. Therefore, the 24 candidates who have filed for VVPAT verification will not detect any foul play for three reasons. Firstly, there won't be any mismatch in the control unit and VVPAT data while the malware itself has self-destructed. Secondly, the Supreme Court order in the EVM case heard earlier by the present Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna provides that only the microcontroller's burnt memory will be subject to audit, but not the flash memory of 4 MB where malware is usually planted. Third, as reported, the ECI says that it won't be doing a count of VVPAT votes but only a demo of the whole voting process using a dummy. In addition, although the Supreme Court has said that 5% VVPAT count is allowed, the Election Commission has told candidates to get an order from the Supreme Court which only indicates mischief by the Commission. However, as a spin-off, what the candidates are likely to find if VVPATs are counted is that it will reflect the mismatch between the voters on list, the votes counted, and the excess votes that have shown up in the total number of votes. Between Lok Sabha elections 6 months ago and the recent Maharashtra Assembly elections, allegedly 47 lakh new voters were added, along with 29 lakh bogus voters, which puts the Election Commission in a tight spot. Consequently, as a result of all this, it is not surprising that people all over Maharashtra are calling the elections a stolen one, and the India Alliance has decided to go on a nationwide campaign to get rid of EVMs or to boycott elections if ballot paper is not used. 95-year-old renowned social activist Baba Adhav even went on a hunger strike to address the issue. At the same time, BSP leader Mayawati has already said her party won't be contesting any elections as long as EVMs are used. If all opposition parties decide to boycott EVM polling, it will create a constitutional crisis that the Supreme Court will have to address by bowing down to the will of the people. The court's argument of ballot paper counting being time-consuming but holds no water considering that the ECI is providing long gaps between polling phases. 1 or 2 days won't make any difference and free and fair elections demand it. Besides, voter confidence is number one priority, not the wishes of any judge. The judges have failed to provide this confidence to the electorate because of incompetent and dubious handling of the whole matter. Do let us know your thoughts on the matter via comments, and thank you for watching this video. If you have not already done so, do subscribe to this channel for cutting-edge reports and analysis. Thank you once again.